got a chance to see Woman of the Hour, starring and directed by Anna Kendrick, and I believe produced as well. Let's check it out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca, an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And talking about comics, yes, we got in Lords of LA. This is issue 2 of my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. It's got plenty of blood, sex, and gore in it. And, also vampire on vampire and vampire on werepanther action. And, yes, it's got Marilyn Monroe in there as well. This is issue 2, and this is issue 1. They are both 48 pages apiece, so lots of good stuff, and I do sign them. So if you want one, let me know in the comments. Just type in the comments that you're looking to get one, and we'll figure that out. And then on top of that, we're into our last 30 hours from the time of this recording, probably far less by the time I actually release it, for Mythlord's classic Monsters card game with art by Mark Spears of Marvel and DC cover art. And yeah, he does an amazing job with this artwork. And again, we're down to our last few hours, so if you want to jump in, now's the time. Go to mythlords.net or go to the link in the description below. Plus, we also have the Dark Oz expansion. It's got a really great artwork in here as well, and it comes with little figures like monsters of Dracula and Frankenstein. We also have the Wicked Witch, but I'll show you that at the end of this video. All right, so let's jump into the Woman of the Hour. This is based on a true story, and this is, as far as I know, the directorial debut of Anna Kendrick. Of course, she is from Pitch Perfect fame, as well as others. One of my favorite movies is The Accountant that she's in, and I really love A Simple Favor as well, with Blake Lively. I think that is a great movie. But this movie here, I'm going to have to talk about this thing here. So this is the true life story of a killer. I think his name was Rodney, and he killed, as far as what they know, over 130 women, but he wasn't convicted for that. So he ended up, this is the story of the girl that was on the dating game with him. So I watched the dating game as a kid, so it was on television when, I was sick or whatever. And, her name is Cheryl. That's the character that Anna Kendrick is playing. And, so the dating game was a very, very popular show back in the late 70s, early 80s, where they would take 3 bachelors, and then a girl would ask them questions from one side of the stage to the other where she couldn't see them, and she would choose them purely based on their personality rather than their looks, which it was a good idea. Whoever came up with it was a really good idea, and you can have 2 sets of them within a half hour to 40 minutes, and have an hour long. I forgot if it was an hour long program or not, but I believe it was. So, so that's the basic premise of it, and one of the women in the audience recognizes him and attempts to alert someone, and that's the extent of that. So, again, it's based on a true story, so there's not much I can really ruin for you here. I'm not really going to get into heavy spoilers, but I do want to discuss the directing here and the plot and how the story is told. So this is written by Ian McDonald. Before this he's written all of one movie. So we have a first-time director and a second-time writer, And on paper, this actually sounds like a great idea. Hey, we have a killer. He's on a dating game. It's based on a true story. All that sounds really good on paper. However, when it comes to the execution of the film, it leaves a lot to be desired. And I know that the reviews on this are generally good, but I am not one of the people that is rah-rahing this movie. I had a lot of problems with this movie, and I had a lot of problems with her directing. So, if you eliminate... Here's my biggest problem with this, okay? If you eliminate the dating game and Cheryl from the film, if you eliminate 90% of the film, the film has no consequence, zero consequence on the resolution of the killer. Okay? So what happens to the killer has nothing to do with the main actress and the main role. So the star of the show or the movie has no bearing on the resolution of the movie. None. So, by the time the end comes, you're literally scratching your head going, why the fuck did I watch this? Why did I watch this movie? I could have literally watched the last 5 minutes and the text that comes in after the film is completed. I literally could have watched the last 5 minutes and the text and eliminated the rest of the movie, and that's the story. There's no story for 90% of this film. It's literally about Cheryl, but it's not really about Cheryl. It's about the killer. That if you're interested in Cheryl's story, that has pretty much no resolution has anything resolution-wise to the killer, you're in for a really good surprise. So I don't know what to tell you. That's my biggest problem with this. And I have other problems with the way this was directed because, he's going out to kill one of these girls, right? And he literally tackles her. She's standing still with her back to him, and he tackles her. What? The death scenes or the killing scenes are really, really misimagined. The idea that she had for this is poor. The visuals on the kills are poor. I don't think she has a future in directing. I really don't. This is very amateur hour directing. Then on top of that, you can tell that her feminist ideal, I could barely get through some of it because she just threw the feminist ideals in your face. She wasn't even trying to be subtle about it. And I have a problem with that. And what I mean by that is that there are literally 0 good men in the film. 0. The one man I thought was going to be a good guy, he's the boyfriend to the woman that recognizes the guy on the show. And instead of him believing her or being with her to turn the guy in or whatever, or he instead basically calls her crazy and says, "Are you sure? Can't be." So the believe all women thing, that got thrown in by this guy. So he ended up turning into be an asshole. Then you have the announcer on the show. He was a misogynist. And then you had the other two. Then you had the 3 bachelors. That the killer was one of them. So of course he's the bad guy. The other one was another misogynist. And then the other one was just stupid. That's all the men. And then, then on top of that, you have the security guard. And he ends up being a complete dick. There is literally zero men in this film that have any kind of personalities that are positive. There's no traits to any of these men that are positive. Zero. Come on, man. There's no men in this world that are good? Just kill us all off already. Just put freaking 50 million of us in a fucking line and kill us. Just do it already. Women, grab your guns and kill all men. Because I'm tired of seeing this on TV. Somebody come to my house, make sure it's a female, and blow my brains out already. Because I'm really tired of seeing this on TV, that there is absolutely no good men in this world. That's what we're being told over and over. In fact, I just watched a video today that they polled like 400, 500 women and said, do you need a man? And everybody said, hell no, I don't need a man. Man should be removed from this planet. Meanwhile, they said they polled the same number of men, do we need women? And they said yes. I cannot recommend this film at all. I thought the directing was poor. The acting was decent. The girl who played Amy was great. But I thought, of all the things, the acting was good. And again, Kendrick's been an actress for the majority of her life. So, of course, she can spot talent and has a lot of friends that are talented. But the directing's poor. The story is poor. You literally, when it finishes, you're just like, okay, whatever. That's it for me on this one. I wish I had never seen it. And I think that Anna should stick with acting and singing. I think she's a great singer as well. But yeah, this is not. I don't know how this thing won any awards or anything to that effect. It's pretty poor. All right, well, that's it for me. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'm tired. Sorry I went into a tirade, but I am tired of this. So I'm going to give this movie probably a 4 out of 10 because the acting was decent, and I thought that it was a period piece, and I thought that the costume designer and the set designers did a good job matching the set from the 70s. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Again, sorry for the tirade. Remember to give me that thumbs up if you can, and subscribe to the channel unless I completely pissed you off. I'm not going to apologize because that's how I feel. And now that you're watching it, you can't say that I'm wrong because I'm right. So anyway, also remember too, if you want us to grab the last few copies of Lith Lords before time runs out, again, we're down to about 30 hours, where you can play as your favorite classic monster, Dracula Frankenstein, right in time for Halloween. I know Halloween is today because I'm recording this at midnight. Also, we got the Dark Oz expansion, and I got to show you the Wicked Witch because it does look pretty good. So here's the figure for the Wicked Witch. I think it looks pretty good. All right, go to mythlords.net or click the link in the description below. All right, check out some other videos on your way out, and I'm going to be doing a Penguin review as well for the new episode. All right, have a great day, guys, and happy Halloween, everybody!